Welcome to southern Spain, an area known for its glittering coastline, rich medieval history, and wealth of things to do. In this video, we're going to take you to some of the most popular towns close to Malaga. Welcome to Setenil de las Bodegas. The name Bodega actually means winery in Spanish, though today the surrounding countryside of the town is predominantly filled with olive groves and almond blossom trees. Now, this whitewashed town is particularly unique thanks to its cave houses, which have been carved into a natural canyon which has been formed by the river Trejo over millennia. One of the main highlights of the town is the Nazari Castle. It dates all the way back to the 12th century and is said to have once had up to 40 towers. When it came to the Reconquista, which is where the Christians tried to retake the town from the Moors, it said that it took them 15 days and 7 attempts to capture the castle, and that is where it's thought the name Setenil comes from, which means septem nihil in Latin, meaning 7 times no. Due to its position nestled in the canyon, the town is actually set over many levels, and so you'll get to see lots of miradors, which means viewpoints all over town. It's thought that people have lived in the caves here since at least prehistory. In more recent centuries, people have actually built their homes into the caves to be able to protect themselves from the harsh, hot sun of the summer and the cold climate of the winter. The most famous street in town is Calle Cuevas del Sol, which means Street of the Sun Caves. This area is full of different restaurants and bars, all built into the cliff face, and one of the most popular dishes to get here is actually wild asparagus soup. The other main street in town is Calle Cuevas de la Sombra, which means the street of the shade caves, and that's because they're either side of the river. One side is completely shaded and the other is sunny. The Street of the Shadow Caves is probably more famous because it's much narrower than that of the Sun one, and so there's no chance to sit outside and all you see is the stone and the building facades. We then hopped in the car and drove up to an excellent viewpoint where we enjoyed fantastic views over the town stretched out below. From Setenil de las Bodegas, it's only a 20-minute drive to reach Ronda, meaning that they're really easy to visit as a day trip from Malaga. This is Ronda, and it's one of the most famous pueblos blancos, which means white villages of Andalusia. We're in the south of Spain, and Ronda itself is most famous for its world famous bridge, its amazing historical ruins, its beautiful old town, and of course, amazing sweeping vistas over the surrounding landscape. Once you've managed to park your car, which to be honest was a lot more difficult than I was anticipating, then you'll easily be able to see the centre of Ronda on foot. The Puente Nuevo, which means new bridge, is the latest of 3 bridges that span the chasm that cuts through Ronda, separating the older part of town with the newer part. The chasm is actually 120 meters deep, and so it was quite a feat of engineering to be able to do this in the 18th century. While the bridge is completely free to walk across and admire 24/7, one of the best ways to get a closer look at it, as well as the chasm below, is by paying €2.50 to access the interpretation centre. Here you can learn more about the history of the bridge and see it up close. If you pay to visit the interpretation centre, you'll also get access to this room above the central arch, and this has seen a variety of uses over the years, including as a prison. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, then you can go onto the Via Ferrata, which is a kind of hiking trail which makes use of iron railings, and you're strapped in. You have to book this in advance, and you have to go with a group leader and wear a hard hat, but it's a great way to get up close and personal with the gorge and see many of the ruins which are also in the valley. Ronda is one of the oldest settlements in Spain, and it dates all the way back to the 6th century BCE when it was settled by the Celts and named Arunda. Today, one of the best things to do is simply wander around the cobbled medieval lanes and allow Ronda to reveal itself to you. Walk around town long enough and you'll come across one of the many viewpoints peppered across town. This is the Mirador de Maria Auxiliadora. If you want to learn even more about the history of Ronda, and particularly its prehistory, then you should head inside the Mondragon Palace, which is a former 14th century home which boasts fountains, sculptures and the like. The Church of Santa Maria la Mayor dates all the way back to 1485 and was built under the direction of Catholic monarchs on the site of a former mosque. Today, it's actually home to 3 distinctive architectural styles: Gothic, Baroque and Renaissance, thanks to later additions. These walls would have once encircled the Muslim Medina and date back to a time when the entirety of Ronda was fortified. The Puente Viejo gives amazing views onto the Puente San Miguel below, as well as the archway dedicated to Felipe V above. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Europe travel content. See you next time. Bye!